Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a great day today. You did not get a video from me yesterday because I had to work. We have this thing where each of us is assigned a month, and during that month, you have to work one day of each weekend. So I was picked for February, and I have to work 4 Sundays every Sunday during this month. And I thought, well, listen, I hope I get picked for February because it's a shortened month. But no, I still have to work. So I have to work this past and then the next 3. So up into and including March 1st. So after I was done with that, I just really didn't feel like doing anything actually. So, okay, so here I am. Let's get the water. We are going to talk about the Super Bowl, and more specifically and almost exclusively, yes, we are going to talk about the halftime performance. As soon as it was announced that Bad Bunny was going to be playing the Super Bowl halftime, there was controversy. Listen, I thought it was stupid that there was controversy. People, of course, were saying we want an American, we want somebody that sings, we want somebody that speaks English. I don't speak Spanish, and blah blah blah, this and that. Well, first of all, Puerto Rico, if you're from Puerto Rico, then you're an American. So there's that. Also, listen, I myself don't speak Spanish, and I don't listen to Latin music. However, I love music. And if you love music and you enjoy performances, I mean, if you love music, then who cares if they're singing in a language that you don't understand? There's the music. So, everybody talking about, are you going to watch it or are you not going to watch it? I, from the very beginning, was going to watch it. Do I listen to Bad Bunny? I don't. I think I might have heard maybe one of his songs, but I still know that he is the most popular and the #1 streaming artist in the entire world. So he has to be doing something right. I had seen a little bit of some of his performances on TV, and from what I've seen, he puts on a very entertaining show. So why am I not going to watch it? Just the same with the last year. When they announced Kendrick Lamar was going to be doing the halftime, you have people, even some of my friends who were like, I don't listen to rap. I'm not going to watch it. Here's the thing. As soon as they announce the halftime performer, and people are all of a sudden have to make this big deal about how I got to tell everybody I'm not watching it, why I'm not watching it. You can just not watch it. You don't necessarily have to tell everybody that will listen that you're not watching it. Okay, so you're not watching it. That's okay. So you're just not. So then the funny thing then, for the people that weren't watching it and wanted something that was American, because we're Americans, then Turning Point USA, TPUSA, or as people were calling it online, TPUSA. So TPUSA was had the alternative, for people who they said it's for people who want Americans singing American music. What they didn't want to say, what TPUSA didn't want to say was they wanted an all-white halftime. That's what it says to me. When people are like, I'm not going to watch it because because Puerto Ricans are not American. They are American. They're Americans. And they don't speak English. In my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. Is it because they're not white? Because when Coldplay was playing the halftime, did you hear all this? Did we hear any of this? Like, any of this backlash, like last year and like this year? We didn't. They're not American, right? I mean, but they are white. That's why you didn't hear anything, you know? So I went in with a very open mind. Oh, wait. That T-Pussa, that I'm going to continue to call it T-Pussa. That's what I'm going to call it. You can call it Turning Point USA. I'm calling it T-Pussa. So they come out then with their alternative halftime show, which was, none of these artists can sell out even maybe like a third of an arena. They're probably playing at your local summertime county fair. I mean, who'd they have? They had Kid Rock. They had was it Gilbert Brantley or Brantley Gilbert? I don't even know. I don't even care. Lee Brice and Gabby Barrett. Honestly. And then I didn't watch it, but I did see video of it from different clips on TikTok. It looked like it was taking place in just an old warehouse. And it looked like there were maybe 50 people, maybe 100 at the most. And of course, T-Pussa, T-Pussa, any kind of, event that T-Pussa has, they of course have to have the pyrotechnics and everything. Ridiculous, just ridiculous. And, for people who are like, I'm not watching Bad Bunny. I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. So then here comes Kid Rock singing "Ba with the ba, bang bang diggity." That's not even a language, okay? He comes up. By the way, from what I understand, I learned this week. That's stolen. He stole that from another artist. So there's that. And then he comes out, he's singing, he got his jorts on, he's jumping around, and he's supposed to be singing, his mic is down at his waist, and the music's still going, he's forgetting words to his own song. So, and then he gets out there, I guess, and then goes from this American badass thing to what? To like some kind of slow song that wasn't his song. Listen, I'm not judging. No, I don't want to say I'm not judging you if you watched it, but we all know a little part of me is. Okay. So let's get into my thoughts on the Bad Bunny halftime show. I went in knowing, like I said, I'm not going to know any of the words to the music. But I went in thinking, listen, I was pumped. I was pumped for all of the musical guests. They started off with Green Day. I was a little disappointed that Green Day didn't say anything. They're very, very, very political. I was kind of surprised they didn't say anything, unless maybe the NFL and NBC was like, listen, can you tone it down a little bit? Because just like the day before, in a pre-Super Bowl concert, Billy Joe, he went and, he did what he normally does, which was what I was hoping they would do, but still, they sounded good. They put on a good show. How about Coco Jones singing Lift Every Voice? Like, she was channeling Whitney Houston. It was giving me kind of the chills a little bit. Her voice was phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. She comes out in that white outfit with the red piping that, once again, it brought me to that, if you remember, it brought me to that place of Whitney Houston when she sang her iconic performance of the national anthem. And she had on that white tracksuit with the red piping. That's what Coco Jones was giving me. I'm going to tell you, she was phenomenal. Coco Jones. And then we had Brandi Carlile singing America the Beautiful, which I had watched a video before of her explaining the lyrics, and how even in like this dark a time for that we're experiencing, like, there's still hope. And she's a great songwriter, and she takes great care when she performs in really embracing what she's saying. So I thoroughly enjoyed her performance of America the Beautiful. And then Charlie Puth, I was surprised that I liked Charlie Puth's as much as I did. I liked that they had the background singers. Did I hear some horns, like some saxophone? At one time I was like, oh, this is sultry. And sultry in a good way. Not like, you remember when Ferg from Black Eyed Peas sang the national anthem at the NBA All-Star game, and it was terrible. She was trying to get sexy time with the national anthem, and it was terrible. But Charlie Puth, he was good. I thought he did. I thought he killed that. I thought he did excellent on that as well. So then, Bad Bunny. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I did not like it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And Dolly was sitting in the same room. She stayed, she watched it, and she thoroughly enjoyed it as well. She's like, I don't know any of the words. I've never heard his music. She thoroughly enjoyed it. Listen, I'm going to tell you, for a halftime show, I want to be entertained. And I was entertained and more. Like, if I didn't have bum knees, I would have gotten up and I would have danced it out. The Debbie from like 10 years ago? Yeah, the Debbie from 10 years ago would have been up and dancing. Nonetheless, I was dancing in my seat. But here's the thing that I realized that I enjoy. The last two Super Bowls have not been so much about like flash and pyrotechnics and all this technology. It was more about storytelling and just a beautifully produced halftime show. From the very beginning, Bad Bunny just wove a tapestry of what Puerto Rican life is. And I'm not Puerto Rican, but I did listen to Puerto Ricans explain everything, everything that was going on in his performance. And from the very beginning, with taking you through the sugarcane fields, and then just peppering in like the little parts of Puerto Rican culture, like the old men, the elders playing dominoes, and the taco cart, and the boxing, and just everything was just a tribute and a nod to Puerto Rican culture. And even if you're not Puerto Rican, I loved seeing that. I loved seeing, taking a look into the Puerto Rican life. And then they had, he went to I'm not going to say I know the name of the building, but there was that building, and on the front porch was, the different, celebrities. Listen, the one I saw, the only one I focused on was Pedro Pascal, because I was like, oh, is that Pedro? Oh my God. Yes, it was Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, who else? Jessica Alba, who, from reading comments, I understand that people were like, Jessica Alba has never been proud to be a Latina, so I don't know why she's there. I don't know. And the one that kind of confused me was Alex Earl, because Alex Earl is MAGA. So I don't know why she was there. Maybe it's because she's so, like, she has such a big following. I don't know. And you go from that to then him dancing on top of the truck, and the imagery was just top tier. That's why I enjoy something like this more than if somebody gets up there and there's a whole bunch of like lights and pyrotechnics and technological stuff. The wedding, I said to my mom, I was like, I wonder if that's real. And it was. As it turns out, the couple invited Bad Bunny to their wedding. And he said, listen, I'll do you one better. How about if you get married at the Super Bowl, my halftime show? And that was real. I loved it. I loved Ricky Martin. Oh, Ricky Martin still looks good. I remember seeing Ricky Martin back in the day when he was really popular with Livin' La Vida Loca and Shake Your Bon Bon. And I'm going to tell you, all of us women were shaking our bonbons, and I almost fell down the steps because I was drooling so much. There was an older woman in front of me. She was an elder to me, and she was shaking it. So I thought, bringing Ricky Martin out, he looks so good. And he did fantastic. I even like the fact that at first I was kind of thinking, well, why do they have Lady Gaga there? But then I had heard that Lady Gaga is one of Bad Bunny's role models. Like, I guess he's a really big fan of hers, and maybe they're friends. But I kind of like that she was there, because it was like a mixing of cultures, like a melding of cultures together. And she didn't go in and do it where she made herself like into like a co-headliner or something. It was a quick thing. It was a little quick song. She adapted her song Die With A Smile to fit the whole theme, to fit the music of Puerto Rico. So I like that. And the other thing that I really loved seeing was when they were kind of in like another part of the staging area. There were those businesses, and those were actually real. Those are based on real businesses, and it was so cool to hear that the one older lady that he had taken a little drink from is the owner of like the last standing social club, Puerto Rican social club in New York. And they were really pushing her, they meaning in New York, they were pushing her to sell her social club, because I believe it's in Williamsburg in New York City. And that area had been Puerto Rican for the longest time, and everybody was selling, and it was becoming gentrified. And she had said, no, I'm not going to do that. And Bad Bunny had always supported her. And I believe I had heard that he had started, like, he got a GoFundMe started or something like that. And he's always supported her. I loved seeing that. The more and more that I see of Bad Bunny and I hear of how he is with people, he's a good person. Listen, I don't give a shit. I don't care if you speak English, if you speak Spanish. If you're a good person and you treat people right and you're kind, then I don't care. So I loved seeing that. The power when he was climbing the power, the power, the poles, that had to do with, that was because of the power outage in Puerto Rico and the horrible response by the horrible and delayed response by the American government. And that I enjoyed seeing all of that. And it was his way of saying, this isn't right, but putting it in song. And I loved it. Listen, like I said, I felt like he was intentional with every little thing that was there. So it didn't really feel like just a halftime performance. It felt like he was taking us through life in Puerto Rico. And then at the end, he named out all of the countries in the Americas, whether it's North America, South America, Central America. He named out all of them, and right on up to Canada. And I had heard somebody else say this, but every little there, at the end of it, every person, maybe not every person in America, but a lot of people in each of the Americas could find something in there that they're like, yeah, that's something that we do in America. And I have to say, I loved it. I loved it. And then at the end, he has that big sign up, the billboard that says, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. When everybody is out there, like, just hating on him for speaking the language that he loves and trying to showcase the country that he loves. I mean, they're hating, and he's the one and rather than meet that hate with more hate, he's meeting it with love. I mean, that last night, that was more American than any other show I had seen, because America is a melting pot. America has a rich history of immigrants. And I love that Bad Bunny did not change who he was. He stood in his beliefs, and he gave us an absolutely beautiful halftime. Was it my favorite of all time? My favorite of all time was Prince, but this was up there. This was after Prince. I would put this in a category of probably top 5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it another 4 or 5 times. I will watch it again. And because of this, I'm going to start listening to his music. You know what? Once again, I went in thinking, I think this is going to be entertaining and just fun. And I left thinking it was all that, but it was also beautifully produced and just a love letter to Puerto Rico And, you know, I loved it. I did. So in the comments, listen, let me know what you thought if you watched it. And yeah, I think actually after this, I'm going to watch it again. And as we found out, it is now the #1 viewed halftime show of all time. So good for you, Bad Bunny. I applaud you. You have a new fan. All right. So in the comments, let me know what you thought if you watched. If nobody told you yet today you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, because everyone needs it. Also, let's please spread kindness. It is free. If you're, nope, wait a minute. Please be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let's hydrate with some water. I got some right here. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I have the next 2 days off because tomorrow I am taking Dolly to her doctor's appointment. She gets her staples out of her hip. And Wednesday I am off because that's my scheduled day. Remember I told you I work every Sunday? Well, then they're giving us a day off during the week. So I have tomorrow, I have Wednesday off. Wednesday, we are getting our bathroom ripped out and remodeled. We're getting we're getting a new shower put in, getting the tub ripped out, new shower, new sink, new tiling, all that. So I'm off Wednesday. I go back Thursday. I'm off Friday. How about that? So tomorrow you will be getting a video about some Real Housewives. Some Real Housewives news, in my opinion, on the new Golden Life on E. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.